We're live, and I just wanted to take some time today to kind of go over some of the recent finds that I had with in the dollar bin boxes of my local Comic-Con. So I'm actually using a new streaming service, and so this broadcast is a little bit of a test. Before we get into all of the cool comics that I found, I also wanted to talk about my own project, which is called Hero, Blood of Patriots. Oh, sorry, excuse me about that. There we go. Oh, that's not right either. All right, sorry, booming it up here. There we go. All right, so Hero, Blood of Patriots is an intense action comic based in World War III. This is America versus Russia, communist Russia. So this is like if Cobra was Russian, that's kind of what this is. It's called the Red Thread, and it's an advanced group of communist leaders that are dead set on destroying the planet and having all of the power. And so the only group capable of stopping that is the Americans, right? So because our backs are against the wall, we create what's called a hero unit, which stands for can you go up and help watch it? Which stands for Hardware Integrated Reanimation Order. Sorry, my kids are here today and they're in need of me, so I might have to bounce off this live stream. And like I said, this is a first attempt with this kind of. I'm actually using Streamlabs, which I'm thinking is pretty cool, and I'm actually excited about it. So anyway, that's Hero. We're at 5861. We are fully funded, but we're looking to get a little bit more traction with customers while we're in demand. You can read the first 16 issues for free right here. You can see all of our cool artwork and all of the opportunities for backing us and our perks. So check out the page if you haven't already. We'd love to get your support. Now, on to the cool comics that I got in our local. All right, sorry about that. I'm trying to figure this out. In our local con. Now, me and Macho went to the con, and it was a lot of fun. We posted some pictures on Twitter and did a few things like that. But anyway, I found some really, really sweet stuff. All right, so I'll start with this one. This is Ed Mcginnis, Thundercats. This came out from Wildstorm. I think this is the second issue. I got the first issue, and I just kind of stopped after I got the first issue. A lot of collectors do that. They just grab that first issue in case it's worth something. That first issue was actually pretty good, right? So, this cover is really cool. I'm really loving Thundercats, and I love Ed Mcginnis. So I thought I would just, check it out and see if it's any good. If it keeps my attention, I might grab number 3. All right. I got a really cool issue of Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man. Actually, it's Peter Parker Spider-Man. Now, this is the J.R. Jr. David Mackey run, and I really like this. I think J.R. Jr. is, just an amazing artist in general. His Spider-Man run was epic. I'm a big fan of his Punisher Warzone run and also his Thor run, but I did like his Spider-Man run also. But you can see that's a pretty cool issue. That's a great. Hold on just a second, folks. What can I do for you? He will. Right now, he's just chilling for a second. All right, so let's see what I got. I'm going to save this one for a minute. Check this out. Punisher number 6. Really cool cover, right? And look who did the cover. Mike, right here. Mike Mignola did the cover. How cool is that? That is just a really like weird, eerie Punisher cover, and I was really drawn to it immediately. And when I saw it was a Mignola cover, I went ahead and grabbed it. So that was really fun. All right. Here is an issue of Deathlock. Look at this really sweet Dennis Cohen cover. Now, this is the kind of cover right here that sells comic books, y'all. Look at that. Like, you've got this humongous mech, and he's got Deathlock all wrangled up. That's how you do a cover right there. Dennis Cohen is one of the most underrated cover artists, just artists in general, that I've seen in a long time. I follow his stuff, and the guy's exceptional. His Deathlock stuff was absolutely unbelievable. So if you don't know Dennis Cohen, you need to check him out. I think it's spelled DENYSCOWAN. At this con, I found a lot of things that I really wanted as a youngster in my teens. And when I found them, it was a lot of these issues I found in the dollar bin. Almost everything I bought was in the dollar bin, with a couple of exceptions. And this was one that I really have always wanted and never was able to get, because when I wanted it, it was valuable and cost a lot of money because it was a collector's item. And now, for whatever reason, I'm finding these things in the dollar bin. But this is New Mutants Special Edition number 1. And this was where the New Mutants are in Asgard. And so it's done by Art Adams. And the cover is not the greatest, probably. It could have been a lot more epic for an Art Adams cover, but still really entertaining. And all the interior art is done by Art Adams. And it's Art Adams exceptional. Coloring was challenging because this is right in, like, I think maybe 1990. 85. So in 85, the coloring had not caught up yet with, with the way that they were trying to print things. And so some of the coloring is a little jacked up, but other than that, it's pretty good. Still a great find. Okay. I got some freebie stuff. Every time I see one that I don't have, I will grab a Walt Simonson Thor, and you can check this out. Look, this Walt Simonson Thor is really, really good, and I mean, there's some great artwork in here, and the cover is really dynamic. I basically have tried to collect every one from this run, and I just love Walt Simonson. Just awesome, awesome guy. Here's a couple more that I would have loved to have had when I was 15, 16 years old, but couldn't get them at the time because they were worth a lot more money than they are now. But when I see them, I had to get them. It's the Punisher World Journal, and that's Jim Lee art, right? And it's guest starring Wolverine. This was a humongously sought after and popular couple of comics. When they first came, Jim Lee was immensely popular. These were two of his original issues, and man, it was just like so epic to find these. I'm telling you, I felt like a kid again with some of these finds, and I love the artwork in there. The covers are great. Got a Marc Silvestri X-Men in really nice condition. That's from the Inferno crossover, issue number 242. Pretty cool cover. It's a very dynamic cover. Look at that. Right? It's great. That's a giant size spectacular, so you get a lot of read for your dollar right there. That's nice. All right, check this out. Walt Simonson, Fantastic Four. If you can't tell, I'm a big Walt Simonson fan. And dude, this book right here, not only is it got an awesome cover. If you see this in your dollar bins, you better grab it because the Fantastic Four are going to be really big again, and they borrowed a lot of Walt Simonson's designs for the Thor Ragnarok film. And I would imagine that the Walt Simonson run on Thor is going to be a big element of what they're looking to achieve on the Fantastic Four film. But classic, big splash page, great looking dynamics, just fantastic all around book. Real big, heavy book. A lot of good classic Marvel inspired artwork. Got Ben Grimm coming back as the Thing, trying to save the love of his life. There's a cool new like Doctor Doom design in here. It's kind of funky. So yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't already. At this con, there was a really good guest star there, and it was Mike Zeck. He was actually tabled and was signing books. I didn't get this one signed, but I was able to find Deathlock. I have the first one of these, but it was the second part of this two-part story with Deathlock versus Captain America. Just a really awesome cover. Check that out. Love it, man. Look at that. I love the colors. I love this classic Captain America typeface, too. That's the logo that I look for when I'm looking for Captain America stuff. Now, since we were there, I went ahead and got one of my favorite Mike Zeck issues signed by Mike himself. And that is this right here. This is the first part of that. It's Captain America 286. And man, look at this cover. One of the classic covers from Captain America. Look at that Deathlock. If you didn't like Deathlock before, this cover makes you really interested in Deathlock. And then check out that sweet Mike Zeck signature, man. That's going to be worth a little bit of money. And I think Deathlock's going to take off. It's one of those properties that's kind of had a little bit. There was a guest appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But other than that, there's a lot of coolness about that character, retro coolness, that I think would make it a really great property to put into films. And so watch out for Deathlock property. All right. And this is one of those things you always get into those dollar bins, and you've always got to keep your eyes open. And some people like to really flip through the dollar bins quick. I take my time a little bit. It annoys some people, but I just go through a box real leisurely. I basically post up at the con. I find my good set of boxes. If I feel like it's a good fishing hole, I'll get in there and I'll just kind of keep going with it until I find something I like. And so one thing I found, this is one treasure. I found this this issue of Deathlock number 6. It's Deathlock versus the Punisher. But look, check this out. See that signature right there? Now, this was in the dollar bin because Deathlock 6 isn't really worth a lot of money, but that's a cool signature on the front. And I thought, man, that's a signature. I turned it over, and I see this label of authenticity. This label of authenticity says that Dennis Cohen signed this copy, one of 1,000 copies signed. So that instantly makes that worth a lot more than $1. It's in fantastic shape. It's been bagged probably since the day it was signed because this seal has not been broken. So that was a great find. I was really happy about that. And let's see here. Last but not least, probably one of my favorite things that I got at the con was this really sweet Fantastic Four King Size Special. My son found this. He was looking through boxes with me, and he's the one who found this. And he said, "Dad, do you like this one?" And I was like, "Do I like this one? Way to go, son. Look at that." It's a good price to begin with at $10. That's what the guy was starting out asking. We got it down for cheaper than that. I think I picked it up for like $8. Always haggle. Do not be afraid to haggle with people at these booths, okay? But look, it's in great shape. It's a big, the king-sized issues are thick enough to have a spine. Can you see that? Oh, sorry. See that? Yeah. That thing was, I think, printed in 1970. I believe it was full of reprints, which was from 1963, maybe. But this is a great set of stories, real fun. Submariner, storyline from FF. And man, what a great find. And it was a great show. I had a lot of fun doing it. I love going to these things, especially with old Macho Man, because, you know, he's a real character and he keeps people active around the booth. And he always finds some crazy things. Oh, I got one more thing I forgot to show you. I picked this up for $10. Now look at this. Look at this book. This thing is immense, right? Look at this. It's Batman, the Black Mirror, right? Scott Snyder wrote it. Jacques and Francesco Francavilla are the artists. Now look at the thickness on this bad boy. $10, okay? And I'm just going to give you a couple of examples of the artwork here. Look at this. And I don't want to break the spine on this too much. So, I mean, just loving it, man. Just beautiful, beautiful inks all around. Check it out. Look at that. Right? Beautiful. Now this one I'm actually I bought for training purposes because these are two inking masters, really. And I want to get my inks closer to what I see on the pro level. And this is going to be basically like a workbook for me. So I'm going to go through this and I'm going to try to get as much from this as possible. But yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little walkthrough on all my cool stuff that I got out of the dollar bins at the con. I just wanted to do that real quick, and hopefully you guys will be able to watch this a little later. And look, check out Hero Blooded Patriots. Nobody loves comics like me and Macho. We are making an ode to our favorite things in comics through Hero Blooded Patriots. The story is really fun. It's going to be packed with all kinds of cool references. It's going to be packed with all kinds of throwback style artwork. It's going to be packed with all kinds of interesting concepts, science concepts that maybe have not been grabbed yet. There's a lot of unique ideas in this book, and there's a lot of fun in this book. So make sure you check it out. We would love for you to be a backer. Every backer makes this book better. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. God bless.